Guys, we're here at our studio in the main press center at Kintex. We'll be broadcasting live the historic meeting between South Korean President Moon Jae-in and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. And joining us also in the studio are two experts. To my left, this is Dr. Arirang K-Pop, professor of Kookmin University. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
And to my right, Dr. Kim Chang-soo, Senior Research Fellow at Korea Institute for Defense Analysis.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Now, it's the first inter-Korean summit in 11 years, and the significance behind this is that it's the first time for the summit to be held on the South Korean side. Kim Jong-un will become the first North Korean leader to step onto South Korean soil. Now, President Moon is expected to be leaving the Blue House at around 8 a.m., so shortly, and the two sides are expected to meet at the demarcation line between 9 and 9:30. Now, North Korea's the KCNA reported that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un left early this morning, and he will be making his way to Panmunjom as well. So what do you expect to come out of this meeting? So it's very historic. It's the first in 11 years. How do you think things will play out?
You know, I expect it's running very high here in Korea and also in the United States or elsewhere, because this is a very momentous, historical moments for South Korea and North Korea, because we have been kind of fighting each other over the last 10 years over the nuclear issues, and also we are talking about kind of non-proliferation or denuclearization of North Korean nuclear weapons, and also peace regime in the Korean Peninsula. So we're expecting running pretty high, and we really hope this would be a very successful first summit meeting over a 10 years period. And this will lead to a very successful summit meeting between Mr. Trump and Mr. Kim again in early June, or even earlier than that. So expectations are running high, and we're having a just very legitimate and reasonable expectation, because if you have a very high expectation, you might be pretty much disappointed. So we are just relatively have very reasonable expectations, but there's a lot of reservation also demands that you should be very careful to get the very firm commitment by Kim Jong-un about the denuclearization. Anything else is just a second matter. The most top priority should be denuclearization of the United North Korea, and how we're going to guarantee its regime survival. So I think it's pretty good. We are at a very historic moment this morning, and very thank you for this kind of good opportunity for me and the professor.
So watchers have said what's more significant is that it's going to provide a foundation to build the trust between the two leaders that's been lost over years of provocations and sanctions. One key aspect that's different from the past is that we're going to put denuclearization on the table for discussion. What do you think is going to come out of it?
Well, I'm pretty sure that there will be some kind of formal commitment to denuclearization made by Kim Jong-un this time. I'm pretty sure that Chairman Kim will say today something about his willingness to surrender nuclear weapons eventually, if the situation is suitable, if conditions are right. Maybe, not necessarily, there will be some more specific comments like, security guarantee or something. So it's basically a necessary step to start any negotiations. North Korea should express its commitment to denuclearization. However, unlike many, maybe most people now in Seoul, I would not overestimate the significance of such commitment. After all, we tend to forget that according to the Article 4 of the 1968 Non-Proliferation Treaty, every single nuclear state, including the United States of America, Russian Federation, and Chinese People's Republic, are technically committed to the eventual surrender of their nuclear weapons. As you see, it has zero actual significance and zero impact on their actual international behavior and military strategy. So I would not attach, frankly, too much significance to this verbal commitment to denuclearization, which is going probably to be basically kind of expressed today. Nonetheless, it's still good as the first step, because without such, no matter how formal a commitment, the further development will be impossible.
That's right. So we don't know for sure like what's going to come out of it. In order not to repeat mistakes of the past, like we've had some great joint statements released in the past from the two summits and also other agreements. In order not to repeat mistakes or in order to fully implement what's achieved today, what kind of measures should South Korea be taking?
I think that to guarantee a kind of final, the eventual removal of all nuclear weapons in North Korea should be a trust building, because there is no trust, political and military trust between North and South Korea. So the first step, this is a very important meeting for today, because this was the first stepping stone toward the eventual final denuclearization of North Korean nuclear weapons and also other WMDs, biochemical weapons as well. So it will take many years, but the key is we got the firm resolve and commitment by the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un this time, and we're going to process, we're going to negotiate how we're going to reach that particular goal for maybe, I don't know, for several years. But again, today is just a very symbolic day for getting his commitment, his voice, that we are determined to terminate all these nuclear weapons and also other WMDs. If we get that kind of commitment, it is be a tremendous success. And the next meeting in Washington or some other place with President Trump is a kind of very final set of because so this is a very kind of one set of two summit meetings, beginning with the North and South Korea inter-Korean summit meeting, and also U.S. DPRK meeting. So this is a one set, and then we're going to have some other in the summit meeting as well, before and after that. This is a whole set of nuclear summit meetings between the two Koreas and all the surrounding countries to guarantee finally putting an end to the long-lasting kind of armistice situation here in the peninsula, like 65 years. So we are pretty much expecting, but we have just reasonable expectation. As the professor said, it will be almost impossible that we are going to get the final 100% guarantee by Kim Jong-un. They are still negotiating with Washington on under what conditions, under what roadmap, how they're going to achieve that kind of status. We are not that dumb. We are very realistic. And I think this is just a new start. That's why the peace, a new start. That's the motto of this inter-Korean summit meeting today.
A lot of people have expressed concern about how serious North Korea is regarding its commitment to denuclearization. Given North Korea's past behavior, we do have doubts whether this is true or not.
Sure.
North Korea made a surprise announcement last week saying it will halt its provocations, missiles, and nuclear tests and shut down its Punggye nuclear test site. What can we make of that announcement?
I would say it's also almost unavoidable first step. Because such a freeze or such a moratorium on nuclear tests and missile launches was a necessary precondition for any serious negotiations. I see basically two such preconditions. First, North Korean government should say it is committed to denuclearization.
Okay.